Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Haley for those of you who are new here, and in today's video I just want to talk about how and why I became a stay-at-home wife with no kids. And I just want to jump right in. I want this video to be kind of like a chit chat, as if I was telling a friend my story. So as far as how I became a stay-at-home wife with no kids was a few weeks before Dustin and I got married. I was working full-time as a nanny for a family, and I was working Monday through Friday and about 8 to 9 hours a day. And then that child was about to turn 2 in just a few months, and the grandmother of that child offered to pay for that child to go to a Catholic preschool. So that's the route that that family went on. And because it was just a few weeks before our wedding, Dustin was like, don't worry about getting a job right now, just stay home. There's no point in you going and looking for a job and then having to ask for time off right away because we're about to go on our honeymoon and get married and all the things. So that was the plan, was that I wasn't going to look for work until after the wedding. And during that probably 4-week little time frame there, I was staying at home, and we had been previously sharing our one vehicle, and Dustin started to use the car and he really liked being able to have the car. We were fortunate enough that my father actually works the same place Dustin does, so he did have a ride if need be, but still, of course, it was much better when he was able to take our car. So that is what he did. He started taking our car, and that was something that very much made him, I think, like the idea of me staying at home permanently. Also, at the time as well, we did not have a washer and dryer in our apartment, and I was having to go and wash clothes at my mom's house, and my mom had about 5 people living with her at the time, so it was hard to find a day, let alone time when neither of us were working, that we could go do laundry. So that was another huge thing that made us decide that it was just so much easier if I stayed at home, was the fact that I could then go and do laundry during the mornings, during the weekdays, and not only was their washer and dryer open, but I was able to get things done a lot faster and easier. And I remember we did that for a few weeks where I went and did it all during the day while Dustin was at work, and I remember just us talking about it and being like, this is so much better. This is so much better that I'm able to do this. This is so much better that you can have the car. This is so much better that we have time to do things on the weekends and in the evenings, and we're not coming home and both of us having to split the household chores and split everything else and go grocery shopping and all that. So also, I will mention that Dustin works like 40 hours. For him is a rare work week, and he typically works more like 50 hours and a lot of times even more like 58 hours. So he does have a good shift. It is during the day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes Saturday as well, but normally Monday through Friday. However, he has to be at work at like 5 a.m., sometimes 6 a.m., and then he is off at like 4:30 in the afternoon. So he works a lot, and when he comes home, the last thing he wants to do is clean or cook or worry about the house stuff. And not that he doesn't help me, he is awesome, and he helps me with anything I need anytime I ask. And but for the most part, it was just so much better that I was able to do everything. I am someone who is very organized. I am someone who likes to clean. I am someone who likes to take care of the grocery shopping and the budgeting and the finances and things like that. That is just in my nature, and that is just what I am and how I am, I guess you could say. So from that point on, I think we kind of just knew that I wasn't going to be looking for a job for a while. We had managed that entire month, and all of our bills and everything was fine. We weren't struggling by any means. So we just kind of decided that that's how it was gonna stay until further notice. So that was almost 2 years ago, October 27th. of 2020 will be mine and Dustin's 2-year wedding anniversary, and so I have been a stay-at-home wife honestly for about 2 years now. It was the beginning of October when I had quit my job or lost my job, so yeah, it's been about 2 years now, which is just crazy to think about. And you know, honestly, there is times where I do feel guilt for being a stay-at-home wife with no kids. I feel like I'm not up to the, I guess, standards or the norm. I am not going to college. I am not working. I am not doing anything else other than just being a wife. And I guess some people would say that that is simple-minded, but for me, it is the most fulfilling thing that I have ever done. And it's kind of cheesy, but when I say that I feel like I finally found my place in the world when I became a stay-at-home wife, I really truly feel as if I found my place. All of a sudden I was able to learn. I learned how to budget. I learned how to handle our finances. I learned how to do all these things on my own, and it just happened to be the perfect time in our life. We had just gotten married. I was a new wife, and it was the best thing and the best decision that we have made. Now, if I ever was to find a job that I wanted to work, Dustin would be 100% supportive of that. And I think that if I wanted to stay home forever, Dustin would probably be 100% supportive of that too. He tells me all the time that I will be a stay-at-home wife forever, but you know, we will see where life takes us. And one of the main things too is that I always knew that when I had kids, I did want to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be with them at least in the first, 5 years of their life before they went to school. I wanted to be there for all their first, and I didn't want to pay for daycare or childcare. Not that there is anything wrong with your child going to childcare or having a babysitter, anything like that. That is literally what my job was before I started to stay home, but that's just not what I want to do. That is just not what I have planned for my life. And so we are all different, and we all have different ideas of what we want our life to be. And this is something that I never knew that I wanted until I had it. And now that I am a stay-at-home wife, this is everything and more that I could want. But back to the no kids situation. I want babies more than anything. I've always wanted to be a mom. I feel like that is my calling. I feel like that is my biggest goal in life. I do suffer from PCOS or polycystic ovarian syndrome, and I have irregular menstrual cycles and anovulatory cycles as well. So a lot of my other videos on my channel are about my VSG surgery, my gastric sleeve weight loss surgery, and the number one reason that made me choose to have that surgery was the hopes that it could heal my infertility or help heal my PCOS, or at least make it manageable to the point that I could get on fertility medication and eventually we can start that and have kids. Now, as of right now, I do have to wait a year, or at least I am told by my doctor to wait a year before we start trying for kids. So that is the plan, and there is no kids, at least this year, that we know of going to happen. So I am going to continue to be a stay-at-home wife with no kids for just a little while longer, and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe next year around this time, we will start trying for our baby. But yeah, as far as that is why we don't have kids yet, and that is why I am a stay-at-home wife with no kids. We really, really like our life. We really, really like the way it goes. I know this is not for everyone, and no judgment from me. I think that we should all be allowed to live our life how we want to. We only have one life. And if you find something that you sincerely love doing, whether that be being a stay-at-home wife, whether that be being a stay-at-home mom and wife, whether that be working, being in a career, whatever it may be, we should all be allowed and able to do the things that we want to do in our life if we are able to financially. So yeah, that is really just my story. I am a stay-at-home wife. I love it. Dustin loves it. There is no plan of changing that anytime soon. And as far as kids go, that is my number one goal out of life. I pray every night that I will eventually be able to be a mother. And as far as for now, I'm going to continue being a stay-at-home wife with no kids. And I do want to do more videos on the fact that I'm a stay-at-home wife with no kids, whether that be just a day in the life vlog or routines, different things like that. And if being a stay-at-home wife with no kids is something that you are interested in doing and you are able to, I highly suggest trying it. If you don't like it, you can always go back to work. There's always going to be jobs out there. There is always going to be things that you can do. But as far as being there and being able to take care of my husband and our home and be able to cook him meals and be able to clean our house and keep it nice and organized and neat and be able to have all our bills paid and go grocery shopping and have all of those things handled so that when my husband gets off of work, he can just relax. There is nothing more fulfilling than that for me. And some people might say that that is simple-minded, but for me, it is the best thing that I've ever done. It is the most rewarding and the most fulfilling job that I have ever had. And I started working when I was 16, and I worked all the way up until 2 years ago, right before I got married. So it was definitely an adjustment, and it was something that I knew I wanted later on in life, but it was something that I did struggle with at first, but it ended up working out perfectly, and it has been the best thing that we have ever done for our family. So yeah, that is my story, and I really hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more stay-at-home wife life type of videos, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below and let me know in the comments what you would like to see or if you have any video ideas for me. And I really appreciate y'all watching my video. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.